Hello, everyone. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in the middle of a room. Everything is quiet, the air is still, but there's something stirring inside you. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's excitement, or maybe it's doubt. You're frozen in that moment, waiting for something to happen, waiting for the right moment to react, to speak, to move. But what if I told you that the most powerful thing you could do in that moment is nothing? You see, the power to change your life often comes not in reacting to every emotion or situation that arises, but in mastering the space between stimulus and response. We live in a world that is constantly pushing us to react, to speak up, to make a decision immediately. And while action is important, it's equally important to recognize that there's strength in silence. There is power in the pause. In that moment of silence, you have the opportunity to choose how you will respond, not out of impulse, but out of intention. You have the ability to pause, reflect, and then make a decision that is aligned with who you truly are, not who the world is telling you to be. So, today, let's explore why choosing not to react in those moments is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. The power of the pause. In our fast pacing world, everything moves at a rapid speed. We are constantly bombarded with information, notifications, and demands, often feeling the pressure to react in the moment. The power of the pause is about reclaiming control in those moments of stress, uncertainty, or emotional intensity. It is the space between stimulus and response, that brief but crucial moment where you have the opportunity to choose how you react. The pause is a moment of reflection. Um, we often feel the need to immediately react when something happens, a criticism, a challenge, or an unexpected situation. But the truth is, if we can pause and take a moment to reflect, we can make more informed, thoughtful decisions. The pause is your chance to assess the situation, evaluate the impact of your emotions, and ask yourself, is this worth reacting to right now? By doing so, you prevent impulsive decisions that might be driven by temporary emotions and instead create space for better judgment and clarity. Um, the pause as a tool for emotional mastery. Um, when we face difficult emotions, frustration, anger, anxiety, fear, the immediate urge is often to act out of these feelings. But reacting without pausing often makes matters worse. Instead, the pause gives you a chance to acknowledge what you're feeling without being controlled by it. It's a way of saying, I see you, emotion, but I am not going to let you dictate my response. By pausing, you give yourself the power to choose your emotional state instead of letting it hijack your actions. The pause helps you process rather than react, allowing emotional mastery to take place. Mm. The pause as a space for empowerment. In this moment of silence, you take back your power. The pause is where you remember that you are not a slave to your circumstances, but a creator of your responses. When you're faced with an overwhelming situation or a conflict, Instead of reacting impulsively, use that pause to gather your thoughts and choose how you will respond. Will you react out of frustration, or will you choose to respond with thoughtfulness and integrity? And in that brief pause, you decide how to empower yourself instead of letting outside forces dictate your response. The pause as a strategy for clarity. When life throws challenges your way, your immediate instinct might be to solve the problem quickly or react immediately, but rushing into solutions can cloud your judgment. The pause allows you to clear the mental clutter, stepping back from the situation to gain the clarity you need. In this space, you can think about what matters most, what your values are, and how you want to show up in the moment. It's from this place of clarity that the best decisions are made, whether it's navigating a difficult conversation, making a career choice, or handling a personal conflict. Mhm. The pause as an opportunity for growth. Each time you pause before reacting, you are creating a habit of self-awareness. You're cultivating a skill that empowers you to respond rather than react. And that is a skill that grows over time. The more you practice this pause, the more it becomes a natural part of your decision-making process. This helps you not just in moments of crisis, but in everyday life as well. You start to make better choices, build stronger relationships, and take more deliberate action in your life. The pause in action. Let's look at an example. Imagine you're in a meeting and a colleague says something that feels dismissive or critical. Your immediate instinct might be to respond defensively, but instead you take a breath and pause. In that moment, you recognize that the comment was likely not personal, but rather misunderstanding. You decide to respond with a thoughtful question that opens up a more constructive conversation. By pausing, you avoid escalating the situation and instead create an opportunity for collaboration and understanding. Um, Silence over noise. In today's world, noise is everywhere. It's in the constant flow of information, the social media updates, the endless conversations, and the never-ending demands for our attention. But amid all the external noise, there is an immense power in silence, a power that can help us find clarity, focus, and purpose. And the idea of choosing silence over noise is not about avoiding the world around us, but about consciously prioritizing moments of quiet to cultivate deeper awareness, understanding, and control. Silence as a tool for clarity in a world that constantly urges us to react, express, and respond, silence becomes an oasis. When we embrace silence, we create space for clarity. In a quiet moment, without the noise of external distractions, we are able to tune into our own thoughts, feelings, and instincts. We can better understand what we truly want, what matters most, and what direction we should take. It's like taking a step back from a loud, chaotic environment so you can focus on what's truly important. Silence gives us the chance to listen to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us with full attention and awareness. Silence is a source of strength. Choosing silence over noise is not a sign of weakness or disengagement. It is a sign of strength and control. Often, when we are faced with a challenge or a difficult situation, there is pressure to fill the silence with words, to react immediately, to prove that we know what we're doing. But true strength lies in being able to sit with uncertainty, to resist the impulse to speak or act out of instinct. Silence shows a level of emotional maturity and restraint where you are comfortable with stillness and confident enough to trust that you don't need to fill the void with noise in order to matter. In fact, in that silence, um, your true power often emerges. Um, Silence as a way to protect your energy. Constant noise can be draining. The endless barrage of opinions, information, and distractions can pull you in a million different directions, leaving you mentally and emotionally exhausted. Silence offers a chance to reclaim your energy. It's in the quiet moments that we can rejuvenate, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves. By consciously choosing silence, we protect our mental and emotional resources from being scattered and overextended. This act of self care helps us stay grounded and focused, making it easier to navigate the chaos of the world without losing our sense of peace. Silence is a path to emotional control. Emotions can be overwhelming, especially when they arise suddenly and strongly. The noise of our emotions, anger, frustration, fear, anxiety, often leads to impulsive reactions that we may later regret. Choosing silence over noise gives us the opportunity to pause and collect ourselves before reacting emotionally. In that moment of silence, we have the chance to process our feelings without being consumed by them. This leads to better emotional control, allowing us to respond thoughtfully and with composure rather than reacting out of impulse. Silence as a strategic communication tool. In communication, silence is often underrated. We live in a world where we are constantly encouraged to speak up, to express ourselves, to share our opinions. However, silence can be just as powerful, if not more so, than words. The strategic use of silence in a conversation, whether by holding space for others to speak, allowing time for reflection, or pausing before responding, can create a deeper sense of connection, understanding, and respect. Silence can invite others to speak their truth, create tension that makes a point more impactful, and demonstrate confidence in our ability to listen. It's a communication tool that enhances both personal and professional relationships. Um, Silence as a way to tune into what truly matters. When we are constantly bombarded by external noise, we risk losing sight of what truly matters to us. The noise of society's expectations, the opinions of others, and the pull of distractions can drown out our own desires and values. Silence provides the opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, to reflect on our purpose, and to get clear on what we want in life. It's in the quiet that we can truly hear our inner voice, rediscover our passions, and chart a path that aligns with our authentic selves. By choosing silence over noise, we reclaim our attention and focus on what is most meaningful. Silence as a foundation for creativity. Creativity thrives in silence. While the world around us may be loud, it's in the moments of quiet that new ideas, solutions, and insights can emerge. When we stop filling every moment with noise, be it music, conversations, or distractions, we make room for inspiration. Silence allows our minds to wander, to process, and to think outside the box. It's the fertile ground where creativity can grow without interruption or judgment. Many great ideas have come from moments of solitude and quiet reflection, where the noise of the world was set aside in favor of exploring new possibilities. Silence in action. Let's say you're facing a difficult decision at work and the pressure is mounting. The noise from colleagues, deadlines, and expectations is loud. Instead of reacting impulsively or getting lost in the chaos, you decide to step away for a few minutes in that silence, away from the noise. You reflect on your options. You consider your values, your long-term goals, and what truly matters. And what truly matters, and in that space of quiet, you make a decision that aligns with your best interests, not the demands of the moment. Detaching from external expectations. In today's world, we are constantly surrounded by expectations from family, friends, colleagues, society, and even ourselves. These expectations can shape how we view ourselves, what we believe we are capable of, and what we think we should achieve. But here's the truth. When we define ourselves by external expectations, we give up our personal power. We allow others' views, opinions, and standards to dictate how we live, often at the expense of our own happiness, authenticity, and growth. The process of detaching from external expectations is about reclaiming ownership of your life and your choices, free from the weight of the world's demands. Recognizing the influence of external expectations. Before we can detach, we must first recognize how much external expectations influence us. Society tells us what success looks like, the career path, the milestones, the lifestyle. Our families have their own idea of what we should do, how we should behave, and who we should become. We grow up with these voices in the back of our minds, and often we internalize them so deeply that they become part of our identity. And whether it's a specific career path, a relationship milestone, or a material goal, these external pressures can make us feel like we're constantly chasing someone else's dream rather than our own. Understanding the cost of living up to expectations. Living to meet others' expectations comes at a price. When we constantly try to meet the standards set by others, we can lose touch with who we truly are. We may end up pursuing goals that don't align with our passions or values, leading to feelings of dissatisfaction, burnout, and frustration. Trying to please everyone around us often leads to anxiety as we can't possibly meet every expectation. The emotional toll can be heavy, and the more we try to conform, the more disconnected we become from our authentic selves. The power of self-awareness. Uh, Detaching from external expectations begins with self-awareness. We must first recognize whose expectations we are living up to and whether those expectations align with our true desires and values. Take a step back and ask yourself, Are these goals truly mine? Do these expectations reflect who I am, or are they a projection of others' desires? Am I making decisions based on fear of judgment or because they resonate with my true self? This self awareness is the first step in taking back control and choosing a path that is uniquely your own. Um, Learning to let go of the need for approval. One of the biggest barriers to detaching from external expectations is the desire for approval. We all want to be liked, accepted, and validated. It's a natural human desire. But when we begin to prioritize the approval of others over our own needs and desires, we lose our personal power. The key is to recognize that approval is fleeting and ultimately irrelevant to your happiness. Detaching from the need for approval means accepting that not everyone will agree with your choices, and that's okay. Your worth doesn't depend on others' opinions of you. By giving up the need for validation, you free yourself to live authentically without worrying about what others think. Um, Trusting your own values and intuition. Once you detach from external expectations, you make room to reconnect with your own values and intuition. What do you truly care about? What do you stand for? When you make decisions based on your own values, you become more aligned with your authentic self. Your intuition becomes your guide, helping you navigate life in a way that is true to who you are. Trusting yourself means acknowledging that you don't need external validation to make choices that are right for you. Your inner wisdom becomes your compass, leading you to choices that bring fulfillment, meaning, and joy. Setting boundaries to protect your energy. As you begin to detach from external expectations, you also learn to set boundaries. This is essential for protecting your energy and ensuring that you don't overextend yourself to meet others' demands. Setting boundaries means being clear about what you will and won't tolerate in terms of other people's opinions, requests, and influence over your life. It's about saying no when you need to, even if it disappoints others, because you understand that your peace and well being are not negotiable. And boundaries allow you to maintain your authenticity, respect your own time and energy, and stay focused on your own goals. Embracing the freedom of authenticity. When you let go of the pressure to meet others' expectations, you experience a profound sense of freedom. You are no longer bound by the shoulds and musts that others place on you. Instead, you become the architect of your own life, designing a path that reflects your true desires, passions, and values. This freedom isn't just about making big, bold choices. It's about everyday actions like speaking your truth, expressing yourself authentically, um, and living in a way that feels right for you. The more you embrace your true self, the more you will attract the people and opportunities that align with your authentic vision for your life. Overcoming the fear of disappointing others. One of the most challenging aspects of detaching from external expectations is overcoming the fear of disappointing others. We worry about what our parents, friends, or colleagues will think if we don't follow the expected path. But the truth is, no one else is living your life except for you. The most loving thing you can do for others is to live authentically. Those who care about you will support your growth and happiness, even if it doesn't look the way they envisioned. And so the fear of disappointing others can be paralyzing. But once you realize that their expectations don't define your happiness, you free yourself from that fear and step into a life that is truly yours. Practical steps for detaching from external expectations. Identify the source. Take some time to reflect on where your current expectations are coming from. Are they self-imposed or from external influences like society, family, or friends? Awareness is the first step in freeing yourself. Reevaluate your goals. Ask yourself if your goals are truly aligned with your own values and passions. If not, adjust them to reflect what you truly want, not what others think you should want. Practice saying no. Get comfortable with saying no to requests, demands, and expectations that do not align with your true self. It's an empowering practice that helps reinforce your personal boundaries. Surround yourself with supportive people. Seek out people who encourage and support your authentic self rather than those who place judgment or impose their expectations on you. Trust yourself. Develop a deeper trust in your own intuition and decisions. The more you listen to your inner voice, the more confident you'll become in detaching from the influence of others. Emotional control equals empowerment. Emotions are a natural part of being human, and they are powerful forces that shape how we respond to the world around us. From excitement and joy to frustration and anger, emotions can fuel us toward action or paralyze us with hesitation. However, while we can't always control the emotions that arise within us, we absolutely have the power to control how we respond to them. This ability to manage our emotions rather than be controlled by them is the key to emotional empowerment. When we master emotional control, we unlock the power to navigate life with confidence, resilience, and clarity, understanding the role of emotions in our lives. Emotions serve as signals. They tell us when something matters, when we're happy, sad, fearful, or excited. Emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply reactions to the world around us. The challenge is that many people allow their emotions to dictate their actions, leading to impulsive decisions, unnecessary conflicts, or missed opportunities. Emotions, when unchecked, can become overwhelming, leading us to act out of fear, anger, or insecurity. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing or denying our feelings. Instead, it's about acknowledging and understanding them without letting them dominate our behavior. The goal is to feel the emotion fully, but not let it control our decisions or define how we show up in the world. The power of responding instead of reacting. When emotions take over, our natural instinct is often to react, sometimes explosively, other times passively, but rarely in a measured way. This reactive mode can create chaos, misunderstandings, and regrets. The key to emotional control lies in developing the ability to respond rather than react. Well, responding is deliberate. It involves pausing, taking a breath, and assessing the situation before taking action. In this space, you are no longer driven by impulse. or instinct. Instead, you are guided by reason, wisdom, and intention. By choosing to respond thoughtfully, you empower yourself to make decisions based on your values, goals, and priorities, rather than being at the mercy of your emotional impulses. The practice of emotional awareness. One of the first steps toward emotional control is becoming aware of your emotions. We often go through life on autopilot, reacting to things without fully understanding what's driving us. Emotional awareness means taking the time to notice and identify what you are feeling in any given moment. Are you angry, sad, anxious, excited, overwhelmed, or frustrated? In these moments, by tuning into your emotions without judgment, you can start to understand what triggers them and how they influence your thoughts and actions. This awareness is empowering because it gives you insight into your emotional patterns. It's the first step in breaking free from automatic reactions and beginning to make conscious, empowered choices. Emotional awareness also involves understanding the root cause of your emotions. Are they based on external events, or do they stem from internal beliefs or past experiences? By gaining clarity on where your emotions come from, you can begin to address the underlying issues and make healthier choices moving forward. Emotional regulation techniques. Once you have awareness of your emotions, the next step is developing strategies to regulate them. Emotional regulation doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather managing how we experience and express them. There are several techniques that can help you gain better control over your emotions. Breathing exercises. When you feel your emotions rising, whether it's anger, anxiety, or frustration, taking a few deep, slow breaths can help calm your nervous system. Deep breathing signals to your body that it's time to relax, creating a pause between stimulus and response. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you stay grounded in the present moment. By focusing on your breath, your body, or a specific sound, you can train your mind to observe emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Cognitive reframing. When negative emotions arise, cognitive reframing allows you to challenge unhelpful thoughts. For example, if you feel rejected by someone, you might reframe the thought to, "This is about their behavior, not a reflection of my worth." Reframing helps you detach from emotional reactions and view situations with greater objectivity. Self-talk. Your internal dialogue plays a huge role in emotional control. If you're upset, the way you talk to yourself can either escalate or de-escalate your emotions. Practice speaking to yourself with kindness and perspective, reminding yourself that you can handle challenges with grace and control. Yes. Physical activity, physical movement is a powerful tool for releasing pent-up emotions, whether it's a walk, yoga, or a workout. Moving your body helps release tension, clears your mind, and improves your emotional state. Um, Building emotional resilience. Emotional control is not a one-time event, but a continual practice. It requires resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, disappointment, or adversity with strength and grace. Emotional resilience means facing life's challenges without allowing your emotions to derail you.